All right, here we go. Oops. Good afternoon, everybody. We are here at the Education and Instruction Committee on Tuesday, February 10th. Madam Clerk, will you take the roll, please? Everybody, please sign in. And take the roll, please.
Mr. Chairman, you have 6 present. You have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Members, any business before we get going? Anybody recognize anybody here? Looks like the usual suspects today, so we'll move right along with that. Members, we do have a couple bills in committee. House Bill 1527 has been rolled 1 week without objection. That bill has been rolled. We do have another bill. It's House Bill 1805 by Representative Barrett. Representative Barrett, you're recognized. Representative Barrett, you have a motion and a second. Do you have any amendments on the bill?
I do have an amendment, Mr. Chairman, but in light of the fiscal notes that we have received, the fiscal note attached with the original draft does not have any significant financial or fiscal impact. So we'll just run the bill as is, if that's okay with the chairman.
That's fine. So you have the bill before you in the proper position. Go ahead and present your bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This bill 1805 seeks to add or provide guidance for LEAs across the state as it relates to social studies or curriculum regarding the history of communism as we have progressed in several decades now and a couple of generations removed from the Cold War. We have generations of children who think that our history begins at 9/11 and completely oblivious as to what happened back during the 80s and 90s and everything that happened after World War II. So this would require the LEAs across the state and require the Department of Ed to create some guidelines so that LEAs across the state have uniform instruction that will be provided to students at an age-appropriate level, dealing with the history of communism, atrocities committed in foreign countries under the guidance of communism, as well as comparative discussion of political ideologies and so forth. So with that, I would open this for discussion and gladly accept a recommendation to pass it on to full committee.
Members, you've heard the presentation of the bill. Any questions for the bill sponsor? Representative Johnson.
I guess what I'm curious, we do already teach this. So are you talking about more time spent on this? Is that what this bill does?
Representative Barrett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Representative, I believe what will most likely happen is that I don't know that that will necessarily require more time, but it will require uniformity across the state as to what's being taught in the time that is provided. Right now, that there's limited access to or limited time addressing this issue in particular. And so what we're trying to do is make sure that we're teaching this in a uniform manner to all students across the state. We're also going to be, trying to make sure that we're honoring the victims of communist regimes in the past so that students understand exactly what the fallout has been in history and creating more civic literacy and historical literacy as it relates to the relationship with the founding of this country and the conflict between our political ideology and base philosophy in how this country was formed and how that conflicts with communism and other systems around the world.
Hold on. Representative Johnson, follow up.
To not look at it.
I know, sorry.
I get that, but you didn't mention fascism or monarchies or any other type of form of government. I mean, we really get in depth in this and the different forms and types of government. And of course, why we all prefer to live in the type of government that we do. I'm curious why you chose only one segment and not these other forms of government that also have done heinous things and you're only mentioning one type. And I guess what I'm trying to find out is what do you feel that they're teaching right now that's not being done to a particular level? Because there's several years throughout our students' education that we address this. So I'm just curious what part of it you're not happy with and why you chose one form of government that has done damage, but not the other ones as well.
Representative Barrett.
Well, again, thank you for the question, Representative. Again, what we're trying to accomplish here, and I keep going back to this uniformity across the state, you have different systems and different teachers within each system that may have different emphasis within social studies as to what matters more to them or what type of systems that they think require more attention. What I'm trying to do with this bill is make sure that communism in particular, as being the most common form of oppression and destructive regimes in our history, that it's getting the proper attention in the classroom, that the generations that are now coming up not having lived through the same life experience that perhaps you and I had when we were coming up through school, that they kind of understand and have some sort of context to create the relationship as to how we got where we are. Again, I think President Reagan said that freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. So we have to make sure that all future generations fully understand the history, not only of this country, but the world and how we got to where we are in the time that they are currently living in.
Real quick. Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on. Representative Barrett, is there anything in your bill to address Representative Johnson's comment about fascism and other types of political ideologies? Is there anything in your bill that prevents those from being discussed?
No, Mr. Chairman, this would be additive, not taken away from any other type of negatively impactful regime that may be out there.
Thank you. Representative Johnson, last follow-up.
Yes, but why are we focusing on more in this area? It's not really making sense. And I guess the other situation is once again we're asking. Teachers teach standards. Teachers teach facts. They don't teach their experience on any of these things. They have a standard they have to teach, and they have to teach the facts. And that's what it does when we're talking about different governmental systems, regardless of the class that we are in. So and for the most part, most of us are using the same textbook as well. And so I just feel like I don't understand the direction or the point of singling out one type of governmental system when we already talk about that, and we talk about it in terms of what the problems are and the horrors or results of that happening. So I just am not sure when you were last in a government class or a history class or a world history class or, in the middle school classes as well. But this is all well covered, and I just don't feel that it's necessary.
Thank you, Representative Johnson. Your objection is duly noted. Any other comments? Without seeing none, we are ready to vote. Without objection, we're going to vote. Madam Clerk, will you take the vote? Please vote. Madam Clerk, take the vote, please, for us.
Mr. Chairman, you have 5 ayes, 1 no.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. House Bill 1805, receiving a majority of this committee, moves on to full education. Without any other business before the committee, I entertain a motion to adjourn. We have a motion to adjourn. Without objection, we are adjourned.